Hello everyone, this is Abhishek Mishra and this is your day 7 related to Python basic. And guys, today we discuss about loop and iterations. So in Python we have two type of loop. First is for loop and second is while loop. Generally we use for loop many times. While loop we use we use very less number of times while loop. So without wasting time, let's move forward and let's discuss about for loop. Basically for loop make your task easier. It means ki if you want to do the task on indexing, so using for loop you can do the same task, you can solve that problem very easy. So let's discuss about the first problem statement. The first problem statement is ki I need to print each and every element available in a list. So first of all, let me create a list where we have a few names like Rahul, and after Rahul we have Mohan, and after Mohan we have Sohan, and my task is to print each and every element. Then how we can do, let's suppose my task is that to welcome each and every element of this list A. Then how we can do that? That time we need to use our print statement, and the traditional way to printing each and every element, that time we need to use indexing method, right? So I'm using this f string, then I'm mentioning welcome, then a0. What this a0 means? A0 means ki I want to print the zeroth index of this list A. So what is the zeroth index value in this list? This Rahul. After this Rahul I want to print welcome Mohan, right? Once we print welcome Mohan, then I want to print Sohan as well. So I mentioned print f string, then welcome, and in this curly braces I am putting the variable like a zeroth index, so it will give me welcome Rahul. And then the second line of this print statement I will get welcome Mohan. In the last line I will get welcome Sohan. So when I execute this cell I will get all those three values. Same, I will get welcome Rahul, welcome Mohan, and welcome Sohan, right? But let's suppose if we have multiple elements available in a list, so that time it takes lot of time and lot of efforts to print each and every element, to welcome each and every element of that list. So that time we can use for loop, right? So for loop works on your iterations, or you can say indexes. So I need to use for I in A, because A is my list, that's why I means the iteration. Instead of I you can use A B C D E F G, whatever variable you want. So I'm putting this I because I refers the items. So for I in A, and then I want to print welcome I. So this I will be the index of this A. So when your for loop run first time, that time the value of I will be the zeroth index of this A. So what is the zeroth index? Rahul is the zeroth index. Then my for loop runs second time, so the second time the value of I will be Mohan. Next time the value of I will be Sohan. So when I execute this cell I will get same answer. See, I'm getting welcome Rahul, after that I'm getting welcome Mohan, and last me I'm getting welcome Sohan. So my task has easier now, because this time I need to use print statement multiple times, but here I just need to use for loop and my task has completed now. And always remember, whenever you use this for loop, then you need to mention this indentation, right? Because for loop also need indentation. Okay, so this was all about to print the element of a list. Always remember, this for loop works on indexes, right? So when your for loop runs first time, it will like the value of I will be your zeroth index value. Second time the value of I will be index number 1. The next time the value of I will be index number 2, like that. Okay, now we will discuss few other problems related to this for loop. We'll try to solve few problems and to get good understanding about for loop. So the second problem is ki suppose you are giving a list of numbers and you need to find the corresponding square of those elements. Then how we can do that? See, first of all, let me create a list where I have those elements 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and my task is to find the square of each element. So what is my traditional method? My traditional method is to find like each index, and then I need to square each element, right? It will give me the square of 0th index value. Same, I can use this first index values square. Then I can do same task for my index number 2th square. So I will get 1 chi square, that is 1. Then I'm getting this 2 chi square, that is 4. And then I'm getting this 3 chi square. So I'm getting 9. So same I need to do for the value till 9. So it takes lot of time. Why not I'm using for loop? Because for loop is also working on indexes, right? So I'm using for I in A, and then I'm print i's square, because I have already told you that the value of I will be the indexes of this list. So when my for loop run first time, that time the value of I will be this 1. When my for loop runs second time, that time the value of I will be 2. Next time the value of I will be 3. Next time the value of I will be 4. Next time the value of I will be 5, then 6, then 7, then 8 and 9, like that, right? So when I execute this cell, I will get the value like 1, then 4, 9, 16, 25, 36, 49, 64 and 81. So I'm getting the square of each element, because the value of I in the first time it will be 1, second time the value of I will be 2, third time the value of I will be 3, and I want to print the square of each element. That's why I'm getting the square of each element. Okay, so this was the solution of second problem. We'll discuss later on about zipping those two lists. Okay, my third problem is ki imagine a scenario where we not only needed to print those numbers for each iteration, but also we need to store those elements in somewhere else. Like we need to store those values on another list. Then how we can do that? The same task, this is my list, and I'm creating a empty list because I want to store all those square values in a separate list. So I'm creating a empty list and I'm putting this empty list, right? And then I need to use my for loop for I in A. Then I'm using this because I want to append all those values in this square list. Dot append i's square, right? So I want to find the square of each element and I want to store all those values in this empty square list, right? Okay, let me print this square list inside this for loop. See, so first time the value of I was 1, and when I found the square of I, it was 1 only. So 1 is stored in my square list and it print that value. Next time the value of I was 2. So 2 chi square, that was 4, and that also stored. Same like this 3 chi square is stored, then 4 square, then 5 square, right? So yes, like that I'm able to add all those values in a separate list, right? So if I print my squared list, so this is my squared list. Now we are going to solve that problem ki we want to zip them together in a dictionary. Then how we can do that? See, that was my A and this is my print squared list, right? I'm having two lists. Now I will use zip method along with dictionary function, and then I will get a dictionary where we have key as my values and values as my square. So I'm using zip, then I'm putting this A comma square list. When I execute this cell, see, this is my key and this 1 is my value, this 2 is my key, this 4 is my value, this 3 is my key, then 9 is my value, 4 is my key, 16 is my value, 5 is my key, 25 is my value. So key are my numbers and the values are the square corresponding to that key. Same goes with this 9 is my key and 81 is the square of that key. All right, so yes, we have solved that problem statement. Then the fourth problem is कि now suppose we only want to print the square of those numbers which are even, right? We only want to print those values which are even. So that time we need to use like if and else statement, right? So okay, first of all, I need to use for loop for I in A, and I'm going to print this I, right? So I'm getting this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I need to use my if statement ki if the value of I, if I divide this I with 2 and the remainder is 0, that time I want to print the square of that value, right? So when my for loop run first time, that time what do you think, guys? This condition will be true. If you divide this 1 with 2, remainder will be 0. No, so that condition is gonna fall, so it will skip that value. For this 2, if you divide this 2 with 2, the remainder will be 0. Absolutely right, so this condition will be true, and if this condition is true, that thing is gonna run. So you will get 2 ka square, that will be 4, and the third time the value of I will be 3 and this condition will be false, and if this condition will be false, so this third value will be skipped. Then it will go check for 4. So for this 4, this condition is absolutely true, and if this condition is true, it gonna run this cell, so it will give you 16, right? So when I execute this cell, I will get the square of only even number, right? Okay, even square. So I want to store those values dot append. Let me print this even square. See, I store all those values, I store all those square of even values in this even square list. Okay, so this was all about your using if statement in this for loop. Now let's suppose my task is that to find the cube of odd numbers. Then how we can do that? That time I just need to simply change the value, like instead of I divide by 2, the remainder should be 0. Instead of that, I'm putting this if I divide I with 2 and the remainder is not equal to 0, that time find the cube of those values. So this time I will get the cube of odd numbers. So the cube of 1 is 1, the cube of 3 is 27, the cube of 5 is 125, the cube of 7 is 334, and the cube of 9 is 729. So this time I try to figure out the cube of odd numbers, and also I'm storing those all those values in this even square list, right? So yes, we have solved this problem. Next we try to discuss about this range method. Why this range method? Let's suppose your task is that to find the even number starting from 1 to 1000. So if you store all those values, so it will take lot of time and lot of effort. Then how we can solve that problem? So guys, that time we can use this range method. So A is equals to list of range, then you need to put the starting index, and after that you need to mention the stop index, and then you need to mention the step size. So I'm putting this start index as 1, and because I want to print the values till 100, so I'm putting this 101, because if I put this 100, so it will print only 99 value, right? So always remember the stop index minus 1 value will be printed. So that's why I'm getting this 100 value, right? So yes, those are all are my values. If you want to skip one value, that time you can use comma 2, because you want to skip one value. So this time you are getting 1, then 3, then 5, then 7, 9, 11, 13, like that. So this will be your start index, this will be your stop index, and this will be your step size. So range method make your task easier. To instead of mentioning all those numbers, you can use this range method and your task will be very much easier. Okay, so this was all about your range method. Next we discuss about like we try to suppose we want to find the sum of square of our number in the list, right? The same question ki I want the sum of square then how I can do that? So it was like this was the square of each element, and I want to find the square. Then how I can do that? I just simply use some function of this. It will give me the sum of square. So 120 is the square of each element available in this list, right? So yes, this was all about your fifth problem solution. We have one more option. Instead of using this sum function, we can solve the same problem using this. See, let me put this as 0, and then I want, like, I'm going to use equal to sum of even number plus I ka square, right? So I'm storing all those values, I'm adding all the square with this even square. So when I execute this cell, I will get same answer. So instead of sum, you can solve that problem as well. That is also same, like both solutions are same. That, like, the logic is different, but the answer is same for both kind of problems. Okay, this was all about our fifth problem. Let's move ahead and let's discuss about indexing on string kind of data. So let's suppose I have a string, and that is ki I am the one who knows. I'm having a string, and that is I'm the one who knows, right? So if I use for loop for I in this A, and I'm going to print this I, and when I execute this cell, you will notice it will print the indexes of this string. So what is the zeroth index value available in this string? So the zeroth index value will be I. So when my for loop run first time, the value of I will be I. The second time when my for loop runs, so this time the value of I will be this space. Next time the value of I will be A, and next time the value of I will be M. Same goes with this last index. It will give you only this exclamation. So when I execute this cell, see, I'm getting this I, then space, then A, then M, then space, then again T, H, E, like that. Okay, let me make this more clear. The value of I is so this time I'm getting the variable along with the categorical data. The value of I is I. The value of I is space. The value of I is A. The value of I is M, like that, right? So yes, when we deal with this string kind of the data, that time it also works on indexes, right? Okay. Next, we have one more problem statement. Let's suppose we have this Heisenberg code where we have multiple words, we have multiple sentences, and my task is that to find the first element from each word, right? My task is that to find the first element from each word, and this time we are going to use this split function. Look how A is equals to, I'm putting this Heisenberg code dot split, right? And then I want to print the value of A. So what this split method does, basically this split method will split the data set on space. So when I execute this cell, this it is available on 0th index of this list. Cases is available on the next index. This 2 is available on next index. This exit is available on next index. Let's suppose instead of nothing, if I put this dot, so that time this split method will break this whole characters on dot, on the basis of dot. So this will be your 0th index value because this is your first dot. Then the second index will be here to this point. The next index value will be this, and the last index value will be this. So when I execute this cell, see, so this is my 0th index value, this is my first index value, same goes with the last index value. So for now, I'm not splitting the data with this dot. I'm just simply splitting the data on the basis of space. So yes, I'm getting the I'm getting all those values on different I'm getting all the words on different indexes. Now I'm going to run my for loop for I in A, and then I want to print I. So what will be my value? If my for loop run first time, the value of I will be the 0th index of this A. So what is the 0th index? The 0th index value is IT. The next index value is cases. So when my for loop runs second time, it will be cases. Then next time the value of I will be 2. Next time the value of I will be exit, like that. So when I execute this cell, see, I'm getting the values, right? I'm getting the words. But my problem statement was कि I want to find the first element of each word. Then how I can do that? See, what is the value of I when my for loop run first time? It will be it. Can I put this I ka zeroth index? I zeroth index. It will give me I only because the value of I is it. And if I ask what is the zeroth index value, so it will be I only. See, now we are able to find the zeroth index of each element. Now we are able to find the zeroth index of each element. And also we can use if and like in and not in function in this context. How? See, let's suppose this time my problem is that okay, I don't want this C. I don't want this C and T. So that time we can use if statement. Key if I not in this list. So I don't want C and also I don't want T. So if you don't want kind of value, that time you can use not in function. I zeroth index because I want to check the zeroth index only now. So this time I will not get this C and T. See, I'm not getting this C and T in this entire characters. I'm not getting this C and T. Why? Because I have already mentioned not in. Same we have in function as well. Let me give you that example as well. So I'm using this in, and when I execute this cell, I will get only C and T from my entire data. So I'm getting the C, T, C, T, T, C, and T. Okay. So this was all about in and not in function when we deal with string kind of data. Next, my condition, like my problem is that key I want to print only, I want to remove this day from each day, and this is tuple because I mentioned this tuple here because to tell you कि we also can use this for loop on tuples kind of data. And here is my problem statement is that कि we need to find like we need to remove the day from each word. Then how we can do that? See, for I in for I in days, and let me print I, right? So yes, I'm getting this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It means that we can easily use for loop on tuples kind of data. And now my task is that I want to remove this day from each word. Can I use a remove method? Yes, we can use remove method. I dot remove, and then I need to mention day because I want to remove this day with nothing. We have already discussed about this replace method. Sorry, I need to mention replace. We have already discussed about this replace method in this day 2 where we discuss about string string data type, right? So we can use I dot replace. So what is the value of I? The value of I will be Monday. In Monday I want to replace this day with nothing. When I execute this cell, I will get my proper answer, MONTUES. Then I'm getting this WEDNES. Then I'm getting THURS, then FRISATUR, then SUN. We have one more option to solve that problem. We can use like indexing method. We can use slicing. Print I want to start the values from 0 to -3. It means that I want to stop the values on this D. So when I execute this cell, I will get same answer. So it will skip last 3 characters from each word. So I'm getting this MON because the value will start from 0th index and it will stop on -3rd index, right? So it will not gonna print DA by for each word. So both answers are same, but the logic is different. So yes, we can use different logic in different problem statements. Okay. Next we discuss about to create like we have this list of tuples, In that list of tuples, we can use for loop. In a single tuple, we have India, then we have this New Delhi, after that we have this Ganga. In each index we have three values. Here also we are having three values. In the last index also I'm having three values, and the last, like here also I'm having three values. So in each tuple we have three values. So let me use for loop for I in this list, and let me print this I. So I means the first index of this I is India, New Delhi and Ganga. Same goes with Australia, Canberra and Rover, right? But here is a catch. It means ki if you are having that kind of data, because we have three values in each tuple, so we can use I, j, k. So I will be for the zeroth index value, like India, Australia, United States and London. J will be the first index for each. This J will be the second index for each tuple, and this K will be the third index for each tuple. And I'm going to print this I only. That time I will get only India, Australia, United States and London. See, like that, India, Australia, United States and London. And if I want to print J, so I will get the middle value, and if I want to print K, so I will get the last value. Also we can print this I, j, k. I'm getting all those three values. So yes, like that we can deal with that kind of problem as well. Okay, next let me create a dictionary using those values, and then we also try to use for loop on dictionary kind of data. D is equals to, we have empty dictionary. Now I'm using this for loop, right? And then D of I is equals to K. It means ki I want to make the I as my key and K as my value, and let me print this D. Yes, we have this dictionary. Let me use a for loop for I in D. Print I. See, I'm getting this India, Australia, United States and London. So always remember, when you use for loop on dictionary, you will get only keys. But if you want the key and value both, then that time you need to use I dot items. In the last class we have already discussed ki using item method, the dictionary will be split into two part, key and values in tuples. See, now I'm having this India Ganga, Australia Rover, United States and Missouri, and this England and themes. Okay, can I use I, j? Yes, we can use I, j. So I will be for my key and j will be for my values. But when you use this dot item method, so when I execute this cell, I'm getting the I because I is my key, and if I print this j, so it will give me the values only, right? So when you use this d dot items, so it will split the data set into tuples, like this dictionary into tuples. So that time we can use I, j, right? So we can also deal with this dictionary kind of data using this dot items method. We can deal with keys and values. Okay, this was all about our dictionary data. Next we will move with this while loop. So what is while loop? What is this while loop here? And generally we don't use this, like mostly we use for loop only, because while loop is having a problem. If you have not mentioned the statement, that time your while loop will go for infinite. Let me give you some examples. A is equals to 10, and I'm using while A is greater than A is less than 15. Print A. Else print hello. See, what do you think, guys? When my while loop run first time, the this condition is gonna true. Yes, because the value of A is less than 15, so it will print A. Second time it will check key Is that condition is true? Yes, this is again true. It will print A. Again it will check. So it will check till infinite. So if I execute this cell, it will goes till the infinite. It will goes for infinite loop. That's why we always need to put a condition. Once this A printed, after that you need to add A plus 1. It means that we need to add a single number in this A every time whenever this while loop execute. So this time the value of A will be 10. So 10 printed, then A plus 1. Again 11 is printed, then 12 printed, 13 and 14 printed. But once the value of I was 15, that time that while condition was false. And when that while condition was false, it prints this hello. Right? Yeah. So that was all about our while loop. Okay. Then we discuss about this break, continue and pass comment, or like pass statement. Let's suppose we have A is equals to 1, 2, 3 and 4. For I in A, and I'm mentioning ki if, okay, wait, let me print this, print I, and then I'm using this if I is double equal to 3, that time break. So what this break method does, break function will break your loop. So it will print I, yes, then it will print 2, yes, and once the value of I was 3, this if statement is gonna run, and when it check this break statement, and it will break my for loop. So it means that this 4 is not going to print. See, I'm getting the value 1, 2 and 3. Oh, sorry, 1, 2 and 3. Yes, I'm not getting this value 4. Why? Because if the value is double equal to 3, that time my for loop need to break. So whenever this break statement comes in picture, my for loop will break down. Okay. Then we have a pass function, pass. So when I execute this cell, this pass function will does nothing. It just pass the value, print I. Okay. See. So pass does nothing. It just pass the loop, right? Then we have continue. Basically pass does nothing. Pass we use for not getting kind of error, right? Okay, continue. See, if I'm using this continue, I'm getting this 1, then again I'm going to print this 2, and again I'm going to print this 3. But when this condition was true, for I is double equal to 3, that time this continue statement occur. That time it skipped that print I, right? So it continue with the last for loop, right? So when you got this continue, it continues with the for loop again. So this time my print statement, the last print statement is not going to print, is not executed, right? That's why I'm getting this 1, 2, 3 and 4. Yes, this was all about your pass, break and continue statement. So guys, this was all about our loop and iteration, where we discuss about for loop and while loop. So let me summarize this class. In for loop, we need to use for I in A, like for I in the variable. So this I means the item, or you can say this I means the indexes, right? In A means the variable where I want the A. Okay, and this for loop make task easier, and for loop works just like your indexes. Okay, so yes, this was all about your for loop, and that's it for today. So guys, see you in the next class. In the next class we will discuss about list comprehension. So list comprehension we'll discuss in the next class. Till then, bye bye, take care everyone.